Hey, everybody, off the top rope here, off the Mike Sports Network. So, everybody knows that I'm very critical of AEW, but I think we may have found the personification of everything that I just despise about the current AEW product and the current direction of this company. And that is Ricochet, a guy that I liked a lot in WWE because of all the cool shit that he could do in the ring and all the cool spots that he could do. And he was, like passable on the mic because of how great he was in the ring. And for whatever reason, ever since he showed up in AEW, he has just turned into a nonstop, just obnoxious, abrasive, kind of just a freaking Twitter tough guy idiot. And even his character is kind of a microcosm of who he is as a person. And listen, I understand you're married to Samantha Irvin. You could be cocky all you want, whatever. You're a talented performer in the ring. Cool. But some of this nonsense that's been going on has really just pissed me off to the point where I'm just like, look, this guy, you're showing your true colors. Because Ricochet, so first of all, in the opening tag match, which I was very critical of, it was a bunch of empty calories. In the opening tag match, which Ricochet was involved in, the 8-man All-Star tag, they did a spot where basically every single man in the match missed an elbow drop. And Heel Uzi, who is a commentary account. Some people think it's Kylie Ray. I don't understand that. But this account basically said, this is not pro wrestling. It's indie outlaw mud show. Tell me when I'm telling lies. And look, this guy is way more hateful and gets more engagement for hatred of AEW. I'm just critical of it. Ricochet, quote, reposted this because I got to be careful with how I use my things with, Twitter and X. But he quote retweeted this and basically said, this is sports entertainment. And I'm like, what? What? That's sports when you spend 6 years in the other place and you were known as a glorified spot guy who did a lot of crazy things, but were never known to be as really an entertaining guy, really that gifted on the mic. That's sports entertainment to you. But then let me take it a step further. So, so Tony Khan's praising him as like he's this great heel, and I'll get to that in a second as to why I just think this is. So then there was somebody else who, commented basically to a tweet that was praising Ricochet and kind of bad dunking on Speed and praising Ricochet. And basically this guy goes, dude has won 0 titles since he arrived. The main reason he jumped ship, with a bunch of rolling on the ground emoji face. And so basically Ricochet goes back and says, and then he's just quote retweeting fans. And he goes, no, the main reason was that WWE ruined my love and passion for the sport that I grew up loving. AEW helped me find that love again. Okay. So first of all, it's really convenient that Ricochet, because he fell into a great heel character, because basically this is who he is. And, it's easy to play a guy that, because maybe he is a jackass, but I mean, you're talking about, hey, I lost my love for professional wrestling. For God's sake, you met your wife in WWE. You met your wife. And you got to do a bunch of whole cool shit. You won a bunch of stuff in NXT. You won an Intercontinental, you won a United States Championship. Just because Vince McMahon and the WWE style is different and you didn't fit into that, you got paid, you went to another place, and now you're in, maybe in my eyes, one of the best runs of your career, but you're also acting like a fucking jackass, man. Like, I already did another video on this guy, and he just keeps barking at people on social media that are just a bunch of booger eaters and Twitter keyboard wars. Why are you engaging with people that shouldn't matter to you? You're getting all defensive, and some people say, oh, he's playing up a character. No, he's not. Talking about ruining his love for professional wrestling and talking about guys missing a bunch of elbow drops in a freaking PWG indie-rific match and calling that sports entertainment? The fuck, man? Dude. And if there's anybody who's more disappointed in this, it's me, because listen, I like Ricochet. I like his style. I think he's a lot of fun. Here's the problem. And I give him credit for kind of differentiating himself at a place where he is basically one in the same. There's just a bunch of dudes there that do a bunch of cool flips, have no element of being able to tell a story. They don't need to be on the microphone. They don't need to be able to do things. And I give Ricochet some level of credit, but let's not act like this was always the plan for Ricochet. Let's not act like this. They brought him in as a generic babyface. They wanted him to face Will Ospreay. They got rid of that match in like a month. and then they had Takesh to get involved. And then, they haven't really even revisited the Ricochet Osprey thing. And, wouldn't it have been convenient if the plan was, hey, let's build this thing up, let's have Ricochet become a heel, and then do the match? But they've already done it like 2 or 3 times already. So spare me with this nonsense of like, hey, talking up your place. It's because, hey, he got to a place where, he's kind of semi-level appreciated. But let's not act like, hey, your years in WWE didn't matter. Everybody knew who you were, but you got taken to the next level in WWE. It's just because they weren't utilizing you, and AEW is kind of utilizing you in a better fashion. But what I've really grown irritated by with Ricochet specifically, and why I say he's kind of the personification of everything that I just don't like about AEW, is like all these people just jump on Twitter. They get defensive with fans when they don't say something that they like. Like they're engaging with heel Usi. Like, dude, guys, you're engaging with all the tribalistic accounts. Like what the whole reason those accounts exist is because you guys are fucking barking back at people. Like this is exactly the type of shit that AEW needs to rid itself of. And more power to Ricochet. Hey, he's allowed to do what he wants, and there's no regulation in terms of what these talent can do on social media. But that's exactly what has gotten this company into trouble. Like Tony Khan's gotten himself into trouble by tweeting a bunch and saying a bunch of bullshit. And my advice is put your nose down, do something meaningful. And, Ricochet, hey, go win a championship. You won more championships in WWE than you've won in AEW. Granted, you haven't even been there a year yet, but like a lot of the stuff last night, that if that's your love of professional wrestling, God bless you, man. That's what we do on the indie scene. Like, people, if you want to talk about sports entertainment, yes, you can be critical. I don't like Logan Paul being involved in a lot of stuff. I don't like, and yes, hey, Logan Paul beat you at SummerSlam. Cool. Whatever. I didn't like that either. But you can't say that, like, hey, you didn't like your time there. That's a bunch of dog wash, man. It's just like, especially when the hogwash, I can't even talk. But the point is, like, listen, dude, you met your wife there. You can't just say, hey, my love of professional wrestling is gone. And, everything that time essentially there didn't matter when you met your freaking wife there. It's disappointing, really. It is. Because, listen, like I said, I always thought that he was a noble guy. He was a model citizen. He did business well. He went out the door, put over Braun Breaker. But like I said, just seeing this Twitter tough guy routine really ever since he turned heel, and people can disguise it as character work. I don't think it's character work. If it was really character work, do it on television. And he looks like the last pick in the draft when he wears his Eagles hat and his, oversized jacket out there. So it's just like, come on, man. What are we doing? Anyway, thanks so much for watching. I'll see you guys soon.